All right. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see some of my
All
regulars in
right.
here already.
Good
Uh oh.
evening.
There we go. Gotta mute that. Um, Chrono's here. Wakie is here. Welcome. William, man of the hour, is here. How are you doing tonight? Let me turn this down just a little bit. It's a little loud for me. Of course, like Windows had an update, and so I hopped on and did the update, and then my microphone didn't work again because when Windows updates, it changes the audio settings and changes the input device. So I have to go like into properties and dig in and like be like, oh no, hey, it's the microphone. It's always a pain in the ass. What's up, Rage? How are you? I didn't get to thank you enough, by the way, for helping me understand that the issue on the NCR80 was the lack of diodes on the PCB. I can't believe that was a thing. It was missing 6 diodes. Fortunately, I had the SMD diodes and made them work, and we got that board working for Mirari, who officially leaves Atlanta tomorrow. He is moving, so no more Mirari in-person streams, unfortunately. We'll have to do it over Zoom or something along those lines, but best of luck to him. We got to catch up last night. Was that last night? Wednesday night? Tuesday night. Tuesday night we caught up and we had dinner and or not dinner. Well, Mirari and I did. We had beers at Stillfire Brewery with me and Dan and Mirari, and then Mirari and I went to pho, and we had some pho, late night pho at like 10:30 at night, which was cool. So yeah, he's moving out, so unfortunately one less person to do in-person streams with, but that's the breaks. Will says good, and hope you and everyone is well. Yeah, we are doing well. Fingers feeling better, almost healed up. I still have it wrapped just to kind of keep it protected, but it looks a lot better. Can't wait to stop having to worry about this in the near future. That'd be great. It's way better than it was my last stream and then when I first had it cut. So this is just a crappy job to keep a band-aid on it, but let some air through it. Whatever, it's all good. Rage says, dude, that's so many, man. QC on that is crazy bad. Yeah, it really was. And, like, that really is a meme board. Like, a hollow plastic board is going to sound like crap anyway. And then with those clickies, those Zeal clickies, just absolute butt. But, hey, that's what Ferrari wanted, so it is what it is. I can't, I can't change that. So, anyway, tonight's exciting. William has, as I mentioned multiple times, sent a ton of stuff. I wanted to, like, I don't think there's like a rhyme or reason for like what I'm picking to build when I build, but I've never gotten the chance to build a TMO. I wanted a TMO50v2 when they first came out, but obviously they were like super limited. If I remember correctly, there was only like 20 or something like that. I know Bread Tamer, he lives here in Georgia. I know he has one. He has a TMO50v2. And I always wanted the V1 because it used 40 size mods. V2 uses more traditional base kit mods, so you've got more stabilizers, which I realized, like, I need to find a third stabilizer. I think I have one, but I need to find one. I was thinking only 2 for split space, but we're going to need a third. I'm going to try and min-max the entire board, though, for William, so that he can have his choice of layouts as he wants. So, again, we're going to min-max tonight. I'm going to use banana split switches, so he sent these, they're stock. Whoops. Most of the switches he sent are stock. I think there's a couple that are modded, but for stock, they're kind of quiet. They're super smooth, really. So I figured they're probably the best bet. So we've got that. William was also nice enough to let me build his Legacy Vault. So it's basically it's a JD45, but in a new updated case and mounting from Kane. And Will said he's going to have Kane just send his with mine. So I'll do a Legacy Vault stream where we'll build the two of them. I will build mine. Mine will be soldered like normal. We'll figure out what William wants to do on his, but that should be really cool too. And I don't remember what color he got. I think he got one of the. I think he got one of the greens, William. I can't remember. I got the FX. FX Cosmic over Graphite, so kind of like hopefully like a little more deep black, where you get like kind of a little bit of like depth to it. But I'm super excited to get that board. Like that'll be fun too, just to kind of have, like, as I said, I had a blocked JD45 for a long time. Yeah, Hunter Orange, that's right. So we'll have really nice contrasting boards. A Hunter Orange versus the FX Cosmic over Graphite Black. That'll look amazing. But I'm excited to do that stream. I've ordered some switches. So some are in transit, some are here already. Sorry, let me pull these out. Show off these. I got these, sorry, Ice Mint switches. They are linear. They come pre-lubed. I'm going to have to go through and clean them and then re-lube them myself, but they're all palm. So not too, like, high-pitched or loud or anything like that. Sorry, let me turn that down a little bit. That microphone picks up everything. But super excited to put these in something that these will probably go in the Legacy 45. I think I got like 90 of them. So there's a lot here with these. I ordered Gateron Cap Yellows, the Milky Yellows. I really like those when Evan let me borrow his Oceanographer build. They sounded amazing, so I got those. I got the JWK Tarot Tactiles, so I'll give those a try. And then I bought, these were expensive, but I bought TTC Flaming Purples. They were recommended to me. So one of the other personal builds I have coming up besides my Legacy 45 is the Machida from Fruit. And that IC just got released. That's the board I couldn't talk about for a while. So super excited to build that. I'm like stoked to see that board in person. I got black on that as well. Black on black. The weight is black. It's E-coated black and then black aluminum anodized case. But that's another personal build I'm super excited for. So I've got some things coming, like for me too, which is good. So doing a little mix of everything. William is obviously, again, I'm thankful he's providing so much content for me, but I'm excited to do some of my stuff too. And we're still working on some stuff for the new year, which is pretty exciting, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, like there's things coming, which is good, and I have a constant stream of content, so I'm very thankful for that, and don't ever take that for granted. Camburger, subscribe with Prime, subscribe for 6 months, so thank you, Cam, I appreciate that. Good evening, folks. How's everyone's doing? I hope everyone, I think he's supposed to say, hope everyone's doing well, but it came out as how everyone's doing well. But yeah, thanks, Cam. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying yourself and your boards. But yeah, like I'm super stoked for what's happening behind the scenes with a couple of things for the stream. Just some quick updates. I know I've mentioned this in my channel for Oceanographer. I have OLEDs, I have knobs, I have encoders. The last piece that's missing is PCBs. I'm working on that with Taylor right now. Hopefully I get an answer from him a little bit later tonight, actually, on some things around that. The carry cases, he hasn't announced it, but he has them in hand. So you've heard that here. The carry cases are in hand. I've seen them. Like, he took like a timestamp, which I was like, that's fine. Like, I trust you to have that. So, the carry cases are in place. We just need a couple more things, and we're almost ready to pack up and ship. He should be shipping the screws and hardware to me tomorrow or Saturday, I think. But we're gonna start rocking and rolling here soon. So just everybody who's in that buy, just hang tight. I promise you, I'm on top of it, and I'm not gonna ghost you. I'm not going anywhere. Got a lot to ride on, so we will get that done eventually. I promise. For those in the Embrace group buy, the cases are moving right along through production. If you follow Chris at Orangeworks Designs on Instagram, Chris DePresco, those cases are hauling ass. What's even better is the PCBs are almost done. Their PCB way is hauling ass on the PCBs. So we are rocking and rolling in a lot of areas with Embrace. I'm really looking forward to that, hoping we can meet our goal before the end of the year. So we'll see what happens there. But super stoked on that. Got to get a couple things for that group buy wrapped up. We will have maybe some extras for sure. So if you are interested, if you missed out, I know someone emailed us the other night. Really nice email, but they missed out. So yeah, Embrace is going to be a super quick turnaround. I think we got it we fitted in between projects for Chris, so it worked out really well. And then the PCB way told us like 6 or 8 weeks for the PCBs, and we submitted the designs and we paid for it. And then like a week later, they're like, we're done. We need this piece for testing. And we're like, oops. So I had to send that out Monday. I sent out a daughter board and JST cable to them. That should arrive tomorrow, Friday, which means it's probably already there for them. I'll have to check my email, but either way, so that should help and get them tested, and then they'll hopefully send our way. And like I said, just a few more things, we'll be rocking and rolling with that. So yeah, super happy Embrace has been moving. Been dealing with Ocean. I appreciate the patience on that. Let me continue to work on that. Just know that I have everybody's interest at heart to get that group buy done. I want them out of my house. The sooner the better. I don't want the holidays to linger. Like, if we can get that done, let's do it. So that's where we sit. And yeah, let's get to building. Tonight's gonna be fun. Like I said, it'll take a little bit longer just because I'm gonna min-max everything again. So, you know, the slow process of that. But I got new soldering iron tip, which is good. So that should help out. I actually got some new stuff for my desolder gun. So in the coming future, the very near future, I'm also going to rebuild garbage truck. We're going to put in, it's got an FR4 plate. We're going to put in a palm plate, and I'm going to change out the switches in that. And then we're going to rebuild the MB44. We're going to desolder and put in a palm plate in that, because I typed on one with a palm plate at the Nashville meetup, and it changed like how I feel about my board. So I'm gonna go back and switch that up, and probably put in some different switches too. Like, the Kang buys are in the garbage truck and the MB44, and it's just like, I'm kind of over them, so let's mix it up and see what happens and go from there. But anyway, enough talking. Let's pull out the board. Like I said, I've never had a chance to build one of these. I've always wanted to. Even the V2s, like, they're not my favorite. I don't know if I would use it on the daily because it's too wide, especially now that I've been using the Vault 35 every day. It's so enjoyable. But still, this is a really, really nice board, and I love the case. I love that this, you know, it comes with this nice carry case. I love that it comes with the cloth, all that good stuff. So in here we've got the PCB. It's touching everything. Unopened, so hopefully it works. I'll plug it in and we'll make sure it works, and then mil-max the hell out of this. There's a lot of spots on here. I think I counted, if we did every spot, it's like 54 keys or something like that. So for tonight's build, we'll do the split space though. We're gonna do a split space build, but I'm gonna still mil-max the 6.25 as well. So we'll get that done. I've got our bump-ons. Oops. Make sure I didn't mute you guys. We got our bump-ons on our screw, and then, of course, what everybody wants to see, is this beautiful blue gray. It's very like blue gray. I think it is officially gray, but it's blue gray and beautiful, like untouched. Really, really nice. I think the size caught me off guard. Like, I know you're like, oh yeah, it's like wide, but it's like not tall. Like, I felt like it would have been a little bit taller for some reason. But really, like, good heft on the case. We're gonna do a brass plate, obviously, and yeah, like I said, this should be really nice and a lot of fun. And looking forward to building this. I think we'll put GMK phosphorus on here tonight for the build. I think that'll look pretty awesome, in my opinion. Could always do like Hiragana black on white or white on black, but I feel like that's overplayed. I don't know what other sets I have available at the moment. Yeah, it might be limited, so I think we're gonna go with what I say, phosphorus. We'll go with GMK phosphorus for sure. So I think before I even lube stabs, I'm gonna go ahead and do the mil-maxing. I think that's the best way to go. What's up, Tears? Tears for Beers is here. Let's open up this PCB. Chrono says wide 40s have a very specific aesthetic to them. I think I like it. They just feel goofy on my desk. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's something about like having the width that's really cool, but yeah, it's definitely interesting for sure. So designed by Upas. It's funny, I think he did phosphorus, didn't he? If not, either way, I still think that's hilarious. And yeah, I don't know what this switch does. Do they have a switch on here between 0 and 1? What's that switch do? Whoa. Why is there a switch on this? I have to look this up. I actually don't know why there's a switch on here. Funderburk designed the TMO. Okay. It says PCB by Upas, though. Why is there a switch on the PCB? It has, like, 0 and 1 on it. That's so weird. And the other part is weird, too. I guess not weird. Maybe they just never changed the first design. It's got RGB LEDs on it, but you're not going to see them through the case. So I know V1 had the acrylic bottom, polycarbonate bottom, something like that. Can't quite remember off the top of my head. Just letting this set up. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, that's right. V2 did have the polycarb option. The full board was polycarb. That's right. Thank you, Shiny. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. I will say this, like, from a layout perspective, I saw your comment a minute ago. I think Canon Keys finally sold out. They don't have aluminum or polycarb on their site. I'm like on their site right now. Oh wait, looking for extras. Yeah, I think everything's sold out. Finally. But yeah, I totally forgot they had a polycarb. Yeah, the thing obviously with this layout, for me personally, is because it's a 50%, you get the extra column. And I'm so used to like not having to reach past that. So like this really is like a good board for those that want to kind of make that jump to 40s, and you're coming from like a 60 or 65, something like that. But for me, I'm way more comfortable now where I'm not having to reach so far over for inner. And obviously on the Vault 35, using K and L as my inner now has like changed everything. But again, still looks cool. And yeah, like link the site, Shiny. It's cool. You can link on here. As long as you're not linking like anything bad, which I'll ban your ass, but no, link it. But yeah, like the non-40s kit, yeah, using standard mods on on anything less than a 60 just feels weird to me. That's just me personally, and especially because you need an additional set of stabilizers, and it's really like a pain in the ass. Let's see what Shiny brought up. Huh. Okay. Interesting. I guess they still do have... You can get purple, dark gray, or coral. Coral looks ugly. Oh my god. But yeah, if you still want one, I guess you can get one. So that's cool. Crucified, yes, you are correct. Eternus cases have arrived. Not to me. Taylor has them, but they have arrived, so you are correct. All right, so we've got the board. It's plugged in. I know that the base layout is on, or at least working, because I plugged it in that way. All right, hang tight, y'all. Sorry. Okay, we're good. All right, so with the switches, we're going to go, because I like this build so much, William, we're going to use the gold Mil-Max. I don't know what size these are. But we're going to use the gold Mil-Max tonight, because I just think that this board's deserving of it, so. Alright, so you can get extras. That's cool. That's good to know. Let's use my trusty alchemy screw tray tonight. Make sure we keep all these guys in order. Let's just put quite a few in there and start with that. Like I said, we're going to use banana split switches tonight. Let me see how these fit. This will tell me what size they were. I can't remember what size I used last week. I think these are going to be the... Oh, wait, these might actually be a tight fit, too. Okay, cool. So, maybe able to just shove these in and not have any problems and go from there, which would be great. Oh, boy. Tears, thank you. The finger is much better. We're almost ready for... no more Band-Aid, which is great. Really, it's just, I just have a, I was saying earlier, I just have a Band-Aid that's just taped on top. I like cut it, and then just like the Band-Aid itself, and just put it on top to protect, because really what got hurt was right here. So just to protect it, and then just wrap a little bit of tape so that it just stays. And it's basically like getting air right now, and it looks like ugly. It's like super dark and gross, but no pain, feels much better, and hopefully all the Band-Aid stuff should be off soon, so we should go from there. These are gonna be tight. I can already tell this may take a while. You guys may watch me struggle with Mil-Max sockets tonight. That may be the issue. We'll see. Come on. It's always like that one like leg. Oh yeah, these are okay. That one leg on switches is always like a hair thicker than the others, and it always causes an issue. But let's see if we can get this. Watch Hedgie struggle, volume 27. Yeah, if it's not, remember what we said. If I'm not struggling, is it really a Hedgie stream? I hope these fit. I think that's a concern I have, is I'm not sure that these fit, and they may not. I may have to do different sockets. I don't want to like force anything too hard here. Yeah, these are tight. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yeah, that's like super tight. Those aren't going anywhere. Oh my god. Those are literally not going to go anywhere. Huh. Okay. And I'm going to have to be careful when I solder that one, because it's right... Dude, a couple of these are right next to the LEDs. Good lord. Okay, then. Like, obviously, I don't want to break the PCB or anything like that, but... If they're going to be tight, they're going to be tight. And, I mean, like I said, at least the switch will fit in there, no issues. So... It also kind of means I don't have to have the switches in there when I'm soldering, so that's neat too. Okay. All right. What's everyone been up to lately? I know I've talked about me now for half an hour. What have you guys been up to? Tell me, what's happening in the world of keyboards or life for you specifically? I'm very curious, and I genuinely mean that. Hopefully no issues with the soldering iron tonight. We can have a quick solder job. And then, like I said, I've been struggling with that soldering iron lately just because the tips have been giving me an issue, so. Yep, these are going to require some force. Goodness gracious. William says, nothing much, trying to stay sane, been working hard, barely sleeping. Yeah, that's no fun. Sleep is good though, man. I hope you can get enough sleep. Sleep is really good. Want to make sure you get plenty, that's for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be tight on these, but it'll work. I can't remember what size. Maybe someone can help me. What size are the wide ones? Because these are like a hair too wide compared to the 7305s or whatever ones that I put in my vault that like slipped through until I until I soldered them. Not much, but Tiger 80 is my last board of the year. Wanted a TKL that was cheaper than the Mode 80. Taking it to work and putting it through its paces. Nice. I just wish I could get back into big boards. I just can't do it. Just ever since I've been 40s only, like it's. But hey, like I don't hate on big boards. I mean, some are nice. I saw. I can't remember the name of the board. It was the one that the guy who designed the Austin. He designed another one. It's basically an Efroless 1800. I'm gonna get that for the wife because she's been using the KBD 67 Lite plus the numpad, and oh my god, and I want her to have. She wants a single board. She asked me. She's like, "Can we get a single board?" Oh my goodness, I don't know. This one's gonna go in. Goodness gracious. I may have to just straight, like, push these in with the soldering iron. Like, that's insane. Like, I may have to melt them. Cam says, I was able to cobble together a seemingly working vial firmware for the Pearl, but I think overall I'm getting ready for my next keyboard hobby, hibernation. Yeah, seems like a lot of people going into the holidays are just taking a break and not going as hard on their boards, and that's cool too. Like, I respect that. Oh my goodness, yeah, I may have to use solder, or may have to heat up the soldering iron to get these in. That's crazy. Everyone hitting last board of the year, it seems, yeah. Oh yeah, and Pegasus is coming along. I forgot, I got a Pegasus on the way. Of course, I have Pearl R2. I don't know if anybody is in the field trip group buy. Just full disclosure, I don't know that that's going to happen. Like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but, like, I'm not sure that that's actually going to complete. I think Taylor's focused on getting stuff like Ocean and a couple others out the door. So just food for thought. If you're in that, just keep that in mind, okay? I'm not trying to scare anybody, but just in general. Alright, try not to burn my mat. There's solder on here? What? Should be no solder on here. Wow, this is super, super tight. We may struggle with this a little bit tonight. Yeah, we have to. Someone else should step up for a TKL minivan? Yeah, maybe. Man, these are... Goodness. Like, I can feel the heat coming through. We may... William, I may switch these up. Just saying. Of course, we got some in already, but... I mean, granted, once they get in, they're not going to go anywhere, but... Goodness. Okay. Except I'm not having trouble here. I was having trouble only in these, it seems, so... Maybe it's just the macro column? I think it's just that the pinholes aren't big enough. But like I said, I know you've got some other ones, and nothing is officially soldered in yet, so I can pull these out. AKA push them out with the soldering iron, and we'll go from there. Let's see, does this one fit? Yeah, see, I think I'm having trouble with the macro column, so we may switch that up. Not the end of the world. All right, let's see if we can keep going then. Cam, you talk about the field trip, you lost out on that. Yeah, I actually initially lost the raffle. I didn't win, and then Nap Wizard and someone else didn't want it, and then Taylor re-rolled, and because I had silver as my first choice, I got selected. So, I hope we get it. I do. I just know he's dealing with stuff, and yeah, it's just these macro columns are tight. Interesting. These all fit, no problem. So obviously, I want to get that board. I think it's good looking. I think, like, aesthetically, that's a very pleasing board. So hopefully we're able to get that. Come on. Man, these are tight Milmax sockets. They're gonna work. We're gonna make it work, but they are super, super tight. Yeah, see, they work here. Whatever. That's crazy to me. Okay. I know we're going to min-max all the vaults, but those are only 35 switches a piece, but I hope that the others don't take that long. Yeah, see, these go right in. There we go. Got the Atlanta Hawks game on in the background on my other monitor, and I've got the Falcons game going too. It's a good night for Atlanta sports, honestly. Let's start with this whole set first, and then we can min-max the other holes in a minute. Actually, I should be able to. William, do you want both of these on the on your row 2 key? Do you want those, or row 3, whatever that is? Do you want both there, or do you just want your standard? I guess for a stepped control, like unless you you let me know what you want. I figured you just want your standard non-stepped keycap there, right? Just standard. Okay, cool. All right, good. Yeah, see, it's just this macro column. So that's fine, though. We'll heat up some switches and put them through and get them in that way. I think that's probably the best way to go about that. But either way, I think this board should sound pretty good with the brass plate. I love that it'll be min-max, so you're not committed to any one type of switch, William, which I do want to pull out the, I know you've got those modified box pinks, so I do want to pull those out and give those a try in here, because I just think those will be interesting. It's been a long time since I had a clicky board. In fact, after I got rid of the An Pro, I built a DZ60. It was one of my, it was like my 4th or 5th board, I think, at the time. I built a DZ60 with the acrylic low-profile case, and I had box jades in there. So a clicky board was my main use board. Just drive my wife nuts, just clicking away. It was cool. And then I built an easy on the wallet plank with box navies. And that was also a very loud board. And I remember I took that to work, and I was told never to bring that back in a non-joking manner. People did not like that, so I did the clicky thing for a while. I had my moments. God, Joel Embiid is such a bitch. Oh, I don't like him. He flops so much. Just trying to get to the free throw line instead of using your body and being a big guy. And yeah, oh, don't want to lose these. At least they're gold and not silver. I only use clickies and arcade stick buttons. That's a good idea. I guess you get not only the sound, but you get that tactile feedback in one of those. That's a great idea. I should build like a, not that I really use it, but I wanted to build an arcade stick setup for a while, just to have, like I said. Although I do play I play Expendabros on Steam, and if you know what that is, so an arcade stick and buttons would work there. I kind of want to do that, just because I usually use controller for that game, and I think it'd just be fun to have a joystick and buttons that way, and plug it in and play on that. I think that'd just be a lot of fun. Which, side note, speaking of gaming, I'm debating maybe streaming COD multiplayer, Modern Warfare 2 specifically. I've been playing a lot of that lately. I'm not very good, but I enjoy playing it, and thinking about potentially trying to stream it and see how it does on this channel, after later tonight after this build. So like I'd end this stream and then start a new one for COD. I don't know if anybody's down or wants to see that, but just something I'm kicking around. So if you're interested. Ow, I'm getting stabbed like crazy. Ah, come on, don't fall. I still want to know how these Milmax sockets are manufactured because they're so tiny. That's got to be a tiny little press machine. Like crazy tiny. I'm also really close to getting my 5th gold gun in Modern Warfare 2. Not that that's an achievement, but I don't play a ton. In the evenings I do, so it's slow, but I got buddies who have like 10 or 12 guns gold already, and I'm just like, or even more, and I'm just like, I can only play in the evenings. Like, I play from like 10 o'clock until like midnight, and so like 2 hours a night, maybe. So my gun progression is much slower than theirs. Always is. But funny enough, I didn't have my settings optimized, and I didn't know that. And I just found out like tonight, I was only getting like 55, 60 frames in multiplayer, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so disappointing. Might be why I'm sucking. Totally optimized my settings. Now I'm getting 120 to 130, which is where I should be for a Ryzen 5 3600 plus a 2070 Super. So, not top of the line, but mid-range. Good shit. And, yeah, it's got me thinking, because, like, I'm seeing people get, like, 230, 240 frames in multiplayer with, like, the latest video cards. And I know they're super expensive, but, like, maybe I just want to upgrade to, like, a 3080, 3090, and upgrade the motherboard and CPU. Like, that's been a thought process I've had. So, I'm kicking the tires on that. That may be something that I want and can do, so looking forward to that. God, I'm just getting stabbed. Whoops. Come here. William, I'm gonna have to look. I may have to use a different stabilizer for the shift, the left shift, just FYI. But we'll see. Shiny says, now's a really good time to buy a 30 series GPU. Prices are tanking pretty hard. Same with the AMD 5000 processors. Yeah, I figured people were probably going after the 4000 series, right? So I figured that pricing would come down a bit on the older cards, quote older cards. It's amazing how quickly the 30 series became the previous gen. Like, I could have sworn it was much shorter this time than like when the 2000 series cards came out, right? Because I remember I bought my 2070 Super. Like, I built my I built my computer like right before the pandemic hit, and then like right into it. So I had everything on order, and I remember I overpaid for my GPU for my 2070 Super. I paid like $535 or $540 for it because it was white. It's a Gigabyte white one, and because I was going for an all white build with my Corsair case and Corsair RAM and cooler and all that, and I was like, okay, cool, I need a white GPU because I can't just have like a black GPU and a white case with white everything else. So I paid the white tax. So yeah. William says it's fine with the stabs. It's good to know. Okay, this one's gonna give me some trouble. Come on. Oops, okay. Alright, you gonna fight me? There we go. Alright, we're good. Actually, I hate to say it, I can see some small metal shavings here, but to be expected when you're forcing that. And honestly, because these are getting soldered in, it's not going to matter in the long run, but these are definitely tight, just FYI. Anybody kicking around Milmax, I will find out which size these are, because I'm sure people want to know, so they don't have to deal with this. I bought a secondhand MSI 3060 Ti for $300 on Discord. Whoo! That seems cheap. It's a nice purchase, a nice pickup. Alright. Pick all those shavings up later. Alright, cool. Like halfway done with this. Let's turn off the soldering iron for the moment, just to make sure. Okay. Come on. There we go. I have an MSI Dominator Pro from 2015. I need to replace the battery, but it's got 8GB mobile 980. That's cool. Yeah. Those old gaming laptops lasted pretty long. I know a kid who was playing Warzone on Verdansk like back in 2020 on a laptop, and he made it work. So, and honestly, for me building this PC 2 years ago now, yeah, 2 years ago plus, and yeah, March 2020. Damn, almost 3 years ago. At the time it was pretty good, and it's still holding really well, so like that makes me super happy. We'll min-max both of these too. There's another one here, so we'll min-max all of that. Oh, those came right out. Okay, so I gotta do that. Okay. I want a laptop that can game and hold a long charge. Yeah. Sir, you're asking for a unicorn? We don't have that. Just kidding, naturally. Alright. I will say I enjoy the idea of making more boards hot swap with Milmax. I do like the traditional solder, right, and making a decision and sticking with it. But obviously, for like streams like this, it's nice because I don't have to lube the switches, because I know I can always go back, or William can go back and lube his switches when he wants. Can always interchange, which is nice too, like if you're not feeling a switch anymore. So like Embrace coming with the Kale hot swap sockets is so great for me, because if I want to change up what I'm gaming on, I have that ability, which is really nice. I am super excited to complete this board, though. Like I said, just always kind of wanted one, even if the extra column made no sense now that I've used enough. But yeah. Wolf Toasty. Also, I didn't see it because I was looking at my main screen. HR Logic, his first time chat was talking about the MSI 3060. I did not see you, so welcome. Glad you're here. And Wolf Toasty, first time chat. Welcome to my stream. I hope you are having a nice night or day or whatever time it is for you right now. We have a pretty international stream here. I get a lot of people from all over the world, so. Almost 4 a.m. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I appreciate you swinging through. Thank you so much. You said you'd prefer a D45 over a TMO. Can you explain to me why? Like, I'm very curious to hear your reasoning. I actually find the D45 to be a really interesting layout, but I almost feel like it's too many buttons, too many keys. And not just from like a standard layout perspective. I mean, like just in general, but I'd be really curious to hear why you like it. Weight looks just great. Hey, that's cool. That sounds that's a good reasoning, right? The weight looks good. I like the upcoming MKB that's similar to TMO but has macro columns on the left. Can someone tell me the name of it? And you like that the board is more symmetric. Okay, cool. Yeah. 2 on the left, William. I'm not sure. There's a couple of boards coming up. I'm not sure when. I know, what's his name at Winkeys? They're working on one. Evan's got the Hard On coming, but that's a Trashman group buy. Yeah, there's a couple I think that are coming with macro column keys. So, aka artisan holder. Oh my goodness, this is fighting me. Artisan holders. That's what I'm calling them. Which I may have to pull out the artisans for the TMO just to show them off. There we go. God. Could be Route Master. Interesting. Okay. Darth, what's going on, man? Welcome. Glad you're here. Hope you're having a nice night. You're not really that late to the party. I've just been spending almost the full stream time mil-maxing. At least getting them on the switches. Wolf says, any dream board? Any dream board? Since his DD40 just wrapped up. Yeah, DD40 was basically a TMO. TMO50v2. That's a good point. So, I did not say that one, but that's another one. A dream board for me. That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like I've kind of owned some of mine. I've had a Caravan R1. I've had multiple Pearls. I'm down to just one right now. I have a garbage truck. I don't know. I legitimately don't know if I have a dream board. Interesting that I think about it. I mean, I've got a Vanagon. I've got an Embrace. Yes, I do love my 40s. I'm definitely 40s focused. I don't own anything larger than a 45. So yeah, I definitely am. That's okay though. But just like trying to think in general from like, I've owned a lot of like what 40s people would consider grail boards. I had a Caravan R2. Yeah, I'm not sure. Dar says you designed your dream board. I did. Unfortunately, I think like the group buy having the issues it's had has put a small damper on that. Doesn't mean I don't love my board, right? Like I love it. It's kind of put some like damper on it just because I haven't been able to like truly enjoy it. First of all, I don't have a PCB for my own board, which is disappointing because I'm waiting on them. And two, like I feel bad having it and like the people who purchased one don't have theirs yet. So that's also why it's so important for me to get that part handled and get them out to people is so that like I feel comfortable enjoying mine. But yes, I did technically design my dream board with the Oceanographer. So thank you, Darth. Good to put things in perspective. I am working on some stuff. I feel like I can't release them until Oceanographer is wrapped up. So once Oceanographer is wrapped up, there may be some other things coming down the pike from me. So we will see. If you don't mind me asking, what's the problem with the PCBs? Yeah, so this group buy's had a lot of delays because unfortunately the other half who's running it, besides me, so like I'm handling some of the logistics stuff. Basically, they dragged their feet on ordering PCBs, and we were going to go with the STM32 chip, and the price of the chip went from $5 a piece up to $100 a piece. So that PCB that we designed with the STM32, it was diodeless, had a lot of cool features. It's yeah, it's way too expensive. So the PCB had to be redesigned with 18 mega 32 U4s, and I'm waiting for them to get to me. So I'm kind of in limbo right now. They're really the last kind of major piece for these boards to get packed and shipped. But yeah, and I know your first time to my chat. If you don't notice, if you can see on the floor back there, all in the white in the wrapped, those are all the boards. So I have all the cases and stuff. So if you need help with that stuff, feel free to reach out. I can help. I appreciate that. I actually, we do have the files. I need to. There's some things I need to check. But I may take you up on that. We'll see. I've got a lot of people who want to help finish out this group buy, and I'm very thankful for that are willing to step in. Hopefully, I don't need to lean on them. Although I recognize that still may happen. So I do appreciate that, though. Thank you. All right, come on. Come on. But yeah, Darth mentioned the weight, and the weight is pretty. Thank you. And it is worth the weight. I do want to be full disclosure. I did not design that weight. I had a rough idea in my head of what I wanted. Brooke, a.k.a. Meat Smoothies, she's the one that designed the weight. So all credit for that goes to her. And she's awesome, and hope she's doing well. She will get compensated at the end of all this 2 years later for her efforts, which is great. Uh-oh. There you are. All right, come on. There we go. I feel like there needs to be, or there should be like a faster way to do this process, but I don't think there is. I think you just have to go one at a time, right? Like that's the best way to do it. Or am I wrong? Come on. Sentences said, I missed this a minute ago. Sentences said, almost a year ago, you saw my dream board idea for 40 plus numpad design and pushed me to keep after it. It should be ready for IC very soon. Wow, that's awesome. I'm excited. Very interested to see that. I always like 40s with a numpad. I think that's actually kind of cool and makes those unique. So obviously I have a garbage truck. I know Evan's talked about potentially running garbage truck again. So just food for thought if any of you are interested. All right, so these ones got stuck in this macro column. See if we can get that. And speaking of artisans and macro columns, I have to show off before the stream's over what Johan from Alpha Keycaps sent me, because he sent me a very nice package. One that he did as a favor, and I thought it was awesome. There we go. Got you guys in there. There we go. Okay. Just a little bit of extra force. Range says, heck yeah, that sounds awesome. I can live without an numpad, but my potential dream layout has one, so I can't wait to see that IC. Cool. Well, sentences, if you need someone to prototype, like to pay for prototyping and do a stream, you know where to go. Would you mind sharing me your Discord ID? No problem. It is Hedgie hashtag 9862. Feel free to add me on friends and then DM me. You're more than welcome to. I can't remember if it was Tears or Tenor. Someone won something and I pinged them on Discord and they thought it was like a scam because they weren't sure it was actually me, which was hilarious. And that was like one of the funniest things I think I've ever dealt with. One of my raffles and was like, oh wait, you actually, I was like, yes, you fool. He won the cargo van, that's right. One of you guys. Can't remember if it was Tenor or Tears. Alright, so these ones are going to be an issue too. Yeah, see, it's just this macro column. There we go. Push. Use the force, Hedgie. Literally, use force. Just want to, like, hammer that in. I know that's not the answer. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just saying I want to hammer it in. And that just requires some solder to get those in there, I guess. Damn, it's hot. I turned off my heater a while ago. It's hot down here. Good lord. I have to open the window behind me. Get some fresh air up in this beast. Alright. Last one for now. We gotta do one or two other sets of holes, but we'll be alright. Yeah, these are just not wanting to go in. Okay. They have to work on that. Alright, let's put this to the side. Let's get the soldering iron turned on. I do want to start soldering some of the ones that we already have in there and get that going. My hands are torn up. Basketball and some other stuff. Ray says that tropical storm is bringing the warmth. Yes, it is, unfortunately. What's the line in Happy Gilmore? Why don't you want to go in your hole? You too good for your home? That's what it feels like with these. Oop, that one literally just... That one does fit. Okay, good. It was 80 in North Carolina on Monday. Wacky weather. Yeah, it's definitely... I think wacky is definitely the right word. Alright, let's see if we can get this going. Like I said, new soldering iron tip, so hopefully that should help. We're going to test one before I turn on the fan and make it so I can't hear anything, but... Alright. Let's see what we got going here. Alright. Seems to not be an issue. Hopefully. Don't want to get any solder on the switch. So there we go. Okay, yeah, we're clean. Okay, good. Alright. Easy peasy. So I'm going to turn on the fan. So it might get, like I said, a little bit loud here. Alright. Wolf, if you message me, no, I see it on the phone. I don't get it pinged on Discord because I do have streamer mode on, but I will get to that in a few minutes here. So don't worry, I'm not gonna forget about you. All right, move this out of the way. Never want to get the van fucked up. That would suck. Come on. Uh-oh. That one, I think, collected on the switch pin a little bit. Yep. Alright, so that one I'll just have to pull the switch and heat it up while I'm pulling it, but that's fine. Come on. There we go. There we go. As always, this time is the Ask Me Anything, so if you have any questions, keyboard related or not, you're more than welcome to. Please keep them Twitch appropriate, but I will definitely look up when able and go through and answer those. I'm in an especially good mood because the Atlanta Hawks just beat the Sixers, so sports ball. Go sports ball, yay. Come on. There we go. A lot more switches than normal on this board since it's 50 some odd. I think it was like 53 is what I said. Something like that. Oh. There we go. Alright, over the RGB LED here. Perfect. I'm gonna have to turn off the Hawk stream. It's flashing and it's catching me off guard. Hedgie, are you more of an old school or new school sneaker person? What's your favorite pair of sneakers? Do you have any sneaker contacts in Georgia? Interestingly enough, I'm not big into sneakers, and I just bought my first pair of like named basketball shoes because I actually play basketball, so I bought a pair of Trae Young ones in the blue, orange, I can't remember the name of the colorway, but I bought those. Right now they are my favorite. They're comfortable. I legit use them for the reason that they're designed, which is hilarious to me. Like, I know a lot of people just collect shoes to collect. Oops, that one's gonna be a pain in the ass to get out. But I legit enjoy those shoes right now. Normally, like, I'm a Vans slash you know, kind of skater shoe guy. Like, I just find Vans comfortable. Like, that's what I normally wear. Although I've been trying to find stuff more like just basic athletic. As far as a sneaker contact, not in Georgia, but I do have a kid. I say a kid, but a guy that I know who I used to race go-karts with, and he's big in the shoe game. Has always been big in the shoe game for like the last, I don't know, 10 years. So I do know a guy if you need someone. And then we're struggling here. Okay, so these are a struggle. I want to come back to these. That's what I definitely want to do. I want to come back to those. Let's pull out, well, let's keep going. And then I'll pull out that top row afterwards. I am very happy with my Trae Youngs. They are comfortable for me, which is weird because usually I like a more high-top shoe for basketball just because my ankles and stuff, but considering I'm more of like a spot-up 3 shooter, I'm not doing a lot of cutting, and I'm not like having to like worry about my ankles too much. It's more my knees. I'm just old, and my poor knees like can't handle it. Like, I come home and I look like I'm 60 trying to walk up the stairs. It's awful. But, you know, comes with the territory of basketball. No one has good knees in basketball. I love sneakers, been in them since high school. I love old school sneakers like Adidas Forum Highs, Nike Dunks, and Jordan 1s. I love Vans too. They feel amazing. Wear Pumas on too. We'll message you about Discord on your sneaker person. Okay, cool. Yeah, like, for me, I always liked Pumas because I was into racing and they make really nice, you know, looking race shoes. But I feel like I never had like the style to like pull those off very well. So I always struggled with that, but I like them. It's funny how much more delicate you have to be with Mil-Max sockets in soldering than just like obviously your regular pin. Just because you don't want to get it on the pin like I just did there, because then you have to heat the pin up and pull the switch out, and that's really a pain in the ass. See, like that. Any key sets match your shoes? I don't think so. I don't have, like, those Trae Young ones. I'll link those a little bit later. They're pretty interesting. I actually think they'd make a good key set. But no, I don't think I do. I'm not cool like that. I was never into like hyperfuse or anything like that. Chronos says I haven't Mil-Maxed the board because I don't want to deal with the screw ups. I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to screw up, truthfully. Like I said, I'll show you in a minute because I know there's like 2 or 3 pins on here that are going to cause issues. I'll show you how you pull them out. It's a little rudimentary, but it works, and anybody that judges me for it can go to hell because this is literally the only way to do it. So, without taking out the entire Mil-Max socket, and for me, I don't have to worry about that, and I don't ruin it. William says, yes, I'll show some sneakers and MKBs eventually. That's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it. Seems like athletic wear is where a lot of people get ideas from. Like when you look at like 8008, that came from a friggin' sports bra from Nike. I think it was Nike. Alright, 2 rows are done. As I said, I know where some of the pins, like this one, are going to be an issue. So, all you got to do is grab your switch puller and pull, sort of. Like so. So I'm applying pressure and pulling, and then just, there you go. Easy peasy. And that should be able to get another switch. That one's just got stuff on it. Should be able to, yep, push right in. So that's all you got to do. It's not hard. Look at that, we are, yep, see, like this one's a little stuck, but again, just a little bit of pressure, pull, touch the pin, there you go. Unfortunately, I think I closed that one up a little bit. Yeah, I did. Okay, that's also not the end of the world, so you can always, let's use a new clean switch. You can always put that back in. Like so, and then basically do the opposite, and then just push and put pressure, there you go, just like that. Boom. And then if I want to pull this back out, again, same thing. I don't actually push on the switch, I'm just melting the pin. Like so. There we go. Done. And I didn't screw anything up. It's ugly, but it works. So, and I can see like the one next to it, same thing. Just got a little too much excess solder in there, which can happen with some of these. That's okay. There you go. Easy peasy. We didn't lose any Mil-Max sockets out of that, so that worked out. Not sure if you talked about it already, but any updates on the Atlanta meetup? Honestly, the Atlanta meetup's kind of just taking a back seat for now, just based on wanting to finish up Oceanographer and a couple other things. I still would like to do something, I'm not sure when. I know that the Georgia Tech guys actually want to take over some of that too, so I think there's something planned here in the near future. It's just, I'm not sure when and what. I kind of took a break on that. Alright. Well, I shouldn't have taken all those out, but that's okay. Alright, let's finish up these last two rows. Let's do the bottom row. I always like doing the bottom row, especially because there's another set. Oh, and we still got to do the macro column. That's not going to be fun, but... Hey, come on. Come on. Why is this one giving me trouble? That's not good. There we go. There we go. Come on. I'm supposed to do 6 vaults like this? Oh boy. We'll see how that goes. Alright, and then got this one. Come on. And then we're going to put in 2 more sockets next to it. Okay. Oh, and the same one for over here, just to give all the layout options for William when he's building. He can pick and choose what he wants. Again, that's the nice part about Mil-Maxing a board, and one that'll take it is that you want to run split space, you can run split space. You want to run full space, you can run, or big bar, you can run big bar. You got options, so. Static says hello, tried the raffle. Yeah, it should be possible, Will, for all of the vaults to be Mil-Maxed. I don't see an issue with that, especially because mine went so well, but we'll just have to, like, quadruple check. Too much excess solder right there. I don't know what that's about. Okay. So, let's do this. Let's pull this bottom row out. We're gonna get those last... There's 2 spots. We're gonna get the last 2. 1 and 2. We'll get those soldered up. And then we've got 1 more row to go, and we're rocking and rolling. Appreciate you guys' patience while I do this. Yeah, no raffle tonight. Sorry, boys and girls. I got to catch up on getting some of the raffle stuff that was won previously out the door. So that's kind of taking a little bit of priority. There's that one. And yeah, once I have those caught up, I've got some stuff coming up here soon that we'll play catch up on and whatnot. So I actually know of an Equinox for sale. I do. Wind keyless in black. If someone's interested. Oh, and we gotta do that road too. I forgot about that. But you can always PM me. I know someone who's trying to sell one, so just food for thought. Oh, these guys not fit next to each other? Oh no, they do. Okay. There we go. Is it wind keyless or standard layout? I believe it is wind keyless. Or at least the one everybody wants is, I believe. There we go. Yeah, I thought that happened a little bit. Alright, so a little bit got in there. Remember that time I burned my microphone on the, when I was doing that Keychron build? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Probably clean up this bottom one down here because I'm not in. Well, it's fine. Okay. All right, one more row to go. We should be good, and I'll make sure to put sockets here, here, and here. Just give you. Although, no, you said standard. You said standard for the left side, so I don't need to worry about that. So that's the good news. Okay. Alright, let's finish this up. We're almost done. Almost done with the loud part of the stream. Then I get to lube stabs. I'm really looking forward to that. Can you guys sense my sarcasm the way I said that? Ray said, what makes Equinox good? I've seen them around, haven't really looked into them. The designs are nice, they're plateless, so yeah, people really like them. Oh yeah, you can message me, Will, that's fine. The guy selling it hasn't really made it like super public yet, so I guess if you're part of the stream you can get insider info. That's kind of cool. Go figure. Cam with the Prime sub to a Tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a while. I genuinely appreciate that. Thank you so much. Glad you've been a part of my streams and part of the community for a while now. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Thank you. Shiny said I would need to get rid of my minivan or my Coriander if I were to get one. Yeah. I like my coriander. I still use it occasionally. I put the thick ring in it, the stainless steel thick ring, and it's awesome. Rocking black hub on that, which I still need to pick up like one of those hub WASD sets just for the aesthetics from Asimplex Sudoku, so that'll be cool. I just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. I have white hub on mine. Yep. Just scored a Neuron for, I think, a hell of a price. Interesting, Darth. Yeah. It's funny, ever since I got the Qual and then I use combos, I feel like sub, 12U and under is way more usable for me now, which is something that I wouldn't have said to you 6 months ago. I would have been like, no, I have to have 12.75 or above. So a Neuron is on my radar for sure. I know everybody raves about them. Coffee has one. He got one for a hell of a deal. I tried it at the meetup. I liked it, so yeah, it might be on the list down the road. You said nice cane, right? What did I say? Was I talking about a board, maybe? Sorry. I lost track there. I want the Oracle from Kane. I don't know why, but I saw that and I'm like, I fuck with that. Oh, Death's Neuron. Yeah, Darth's Neuron. Okay, interesting. I didn't know he put that up there. With Cerebral. Okay, cool. Yeah, Oracle's dope for sure. William says, I want every Kane keyboard. Yeah, his stuff is really, really good. Alright. On this right side, William, I'm going to put one more set of sockets in so that if you do want to go big right shift for whatever reason, you can do that. So just FYI. That's fine and thanks. Okay, good. I like using my fingers, like tearing them up when I could just be using the switch puller. Like, I don't know why I wasn't doing that in the first place. I still got to get this macro column done. This thing's gonna drive me nuts. I figured with the heat of the soldering iron it would push the sockets into place, but that's not really what's happened, so I'm curious to see if I can fix that. That's left. We want to go right over here. What y'all map into your macro columns? I usually don't map too much over there because I never use them. Like I said, they're literally like, for me, they're artisan holders. But I've done like in the past, like page up, page down, end, home, that type of stuff. Just easy navigation. Oh, Sentence just said Kane designed the PCB for his board, so that's cool. My Maybe IC. Is that what the board's called? Maybe? Alright, let's get this macro column in and done. Like I said, let's see if I can get these pushed through, maybe? This side looks pretty clean. Just want to see if we can just, like, force them through, basically. Nope, maybe not. Kids don't do this at home. I'm a trained professional. Yeah, wow, those are really in there. Those two are in. It's just this top and the bottom one. Come on, almost in. Whew. All right, come on, baby. Come on. Almost in. It's a little hot and it slipped. Like I said, kids, don't try this at home. This one is just being a pain in the ass. There we go. Whew. Goodness gracious. Since this is maybe is not the name, it's just maybe doing an IC. Okay, fair enough. All right. Let's make sure we get these soldered in. That took way too long. It was way too hard, but they are in, which is good. Quick little solder and be done. All right, we should be good. I feel like because I do reckless shit like I just did, people don't have me build their really nice stuff, and that's okay. Like, I'm totally all right with that. And I was talking with Mirari about this, like, on when we went to dinner Wednesday and we're drinking, and Dan a little bit too. Like, I stream because I enjoy it. I like sharing with you guys. I like, obviously, building boards. And my fingers are like torn up to hell. Like, I genuinely enjoy it, and I don't do it to like try and be the best streamer ever, and I don't do it to like try and make money. I just do it because I enjoy it, and I feel like that allows me to be a little more loosey-goosey and have some fun like that, but I also feel like it probably prevents me from like getting some people to send me like really high-end shit, but at the same time, like, whatever, I'll just buy what I want anyway. But like I said, I know a lot of people cringe sometimes when I do stuff like that, but at the same time, like when I cut the plate on Mirari's milk truck, a lot of people cringed at that. But at the time, like, that was the right solution. That was like, because the plate was bowing like this, like, I was like, if I release the pressure, then it'll flatten out. And I was kind of right, kind of. So yeah, I hope no one's judging me like too hard on that stuff. Like I said, I enjoy this, and I'm here to, yeah. Tears, you literally just got, right as I just got done, I just finished it. There's a lot in here, for sure. So now I get to do the fun part and lube a couple of stabs. I need 3. I've got 2 here. Yeah, we got 2 from this one. If I can find the housings. The problem is stab housings. But we do have a nice little mix of stab housings. So William's going to get these screw-in stab housings for this one. I think this came from a Jake board, I think. And we'll pull the 2U wire from the Durock over there. So we'll have like a Franken stab on one, so it's fine. It won't matter. You have been judged, and I have been found wanting. There we go. It's fine. It'll work. It should fit. I actually don't see an issue with this fitting. Yeah, it should fit. So, whatever. No biggie. You need to clip these. So let's do this. Let's pull these. Are these missing screws? I think these are missing. Man, I've been a mess with my stabs lately. I think these are missing screws. And so these are Durox, and we'll do a clip-in, and I should have some little M2 screws over here. If not, I can always use these. Yeah. I've got small enough ones, I think. God, they always get mixed. There we go. Yeah, I should have small enough. Well, if not, I'll find some. I've got plenty of screws everywhere, so. He's telling me I believe I'm getting arthritis in my left middle finger. It hurts like hell for me to bend. Okay. May have to answer that in a minute. But let's clip these, and then let's find... I have... bear with me, guys. I have screws. How am I out of stab screws? Like, this is a mess. Got some M2 screws. And I've got the washers. So I need the washers. Yeah, like I said, I've got screws somewhere. I need to clip these, so hang on. Yeah, these will work. We'll leave that. That's fine. Alright, we're good. Sorry. So let's clip these guys. It's been forever since I've had to clip stabs. But man, clipping, like, even like the cherry clipping stabs, I went back to them. I like, they're still really good. I don't know if it was just like nostalgia or what, but like, I still really enjoy them. So yeah. All right, these have screws in them already. Let's catch back up on chat. Have you seen someone about that? A cortisone shot took care of the issue in my ring finger. Interesting. I don't like shots, but sometimes I feel like they are necessary, right? Like, I think we all agree on that. I don't even feel like these are the right screws for these stabs. Like, I bet I have some better, smaller M2 screws somewhere that'll fit a lot better. So let me just keep that in my head. But all right, time to lube. Let's move the PCB for the moment. We'll get over to that in a second. All right, at least I'm done soldering for now. I will say, William, I may pre-Milmax, or at least get the Milmax sockets on a bunch of the switches before the Vault stream, just so that I don't have to go through that process on stream. We'll see. But just throwing that out there. There we go. Okay, lubed. Get some more. I'm running out of MCG 129. I may have to get some more soon. Interesting. 2 more of these. Oh, and don't let me forget, guys. I need to look at what keycaps we have available to put on here. Like I said, I think I've got phosphorus, which I think will obviously look really good on there. But then I think I might have some other stuff. So we can go neutral. We can go with phosphorus. I'm totally open. We can make something work. So. I don't see them. I had a large bag of M2 screws, like literally like a bajillion, but I'm just concerned that I won't have the clearance in the case, and so I may have to look and see, because these are decently long. I do have these really nice black M2 screws, and I have some short enough that I may use those. They use an Allen's key though, so I may have to pull some tweezers, and I may use some of those. I feel like I'm running out. Like, I only really needed them for this size, so I've got all these extra, like, giant size M2 screws, like lengthy ones. So, but the M2x4, I think those should fit in the stab, so I'll probably end up using those, and I'll need 6 of them, but we will approach that bridge when we get there. I just don't want to use these. They're ugly, and I think I have screws here in these stabies, but I want to keep the stabies for a personal build, so yeah, we're going to do that. I think that's what we're going to do. All right, so that's done. Now we get to the fun part with the dielectric grease. Ugh, my favorite stuff in the whole world. Ugh. Okay. Let's do in the housings first. Which is the front? That's the front. That's the front. There we go. Okay. Ah. Sorry, let me back this camera out a little bit. My bad. Whoop. Wrong way. I will say, like, obviously I've done this enough now that I've gotten pretty proficient at all this, which is nice. That makes things a little bit easier for me. Might just be you, Tears. I still hear music. You can still hear me, and my mic's still picking up, right? Yeah, it might be you, Tears. Oops, wrong way. Go like that. All right. Trying to move semi-quickly. I do not want to spend all night lubricating, and we're doing okay on time. It's getting a little bit later. We're already an hour and 45 in. But again, I knew this coming into this board. Like, I knew a little bit bigger, take a little bit more time. Try not to have, like, marathon streams. Like, the vault stream will be obviously the marathon stream, but, like, in general, I try and keep it relatively reasonable because I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching, but at the same time, like, I don't want to keep you all night unless you're like the type that likes to keep me on in the background, which I appreciate that too, right? Like, there's something to be said about just kind of having like some background fill. Tears says, but I have all he says, let me make sure I say it right, all night curse of working a night shift this week. Ugh, yuck. Sorry about that, but I appreciate it. Glad I can keep you entertained, so thank you. Forgot, Wolf said it's almost 5 a.m. his time, so him, her, I don't want to I don't want to make any assumptions. So them is the correct term. But yeah. Rage says stream's coming at a perfect time because he's got a ton of work. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's good to know. All right, now I can get to brushing the lube on these guys. Nice little layer on there. Rage, I'm curious if they'll do another meetup for South Carolina in the spring. I'm definitely down to do that again. I had fun at the last one, especially because it was like it ended up being like an all-day thing, and then we did like the dinner and stuff. That was fun. So, and seeing Van Dusen manufacturing was cool too. William said he'll go. That'd be cool. Yeah, you can bring all these boards I built. That'd be kind of fun too. I got such a nice small like intimate group there, which is cool. Which is like a big stark difference from like the Nashville meetup, which was 200 people or whatever it was. There we go. There's one. Yeah, tour was cool. Dinner was interesting. I was tired though. I remember like how tired I was. That was a takeaway. And then still had the 3-hour drive. I mean, it's like 2.5, but 3-hour drive back. That was just tiring more than anything. Can't remember if I rented a car or if I brought mine. I think I brought mine last time. It was just a long day, long drive. Like I said, it was like 2.5 hours to there, but then for whatever reason on the way back just seemed to take longer, so. But yeah, dinner was fun. Andrew, Chris from Mexico, me, Swishy, a couple others. It was a good time. There we go. Oops, too high. We don't want to go up in the second hole. That's what she said. There we go. All right, one more. All right, almost done with that. Don't want it super thick, but just thick enough. For anyone wondering, I have it almost filmed like almost like a white film coat on there, and that usually does the trick really, really well. And I know a lot of people don't use dielectric grease; they just use regular lube, like switch lube. But I find that dielectric grease holds pretty well over time. So, yes, Tears, exactly, extra thick. This one is not doing what I want it to do. There we go. Perfect. Are we not supposed to use KY? Hey, Andrew, glad you could be here. Surprised you're not playing COD multiplayer right now. I would be if I were you. It's 10:45 at night. This always happens. Let me put this over here. Move these guys right here, 2, 3, and then see if I can get the hands a little bit clean. I always hate the residue from the dielectric grease. It's not fun. Lobbies are sweaty. I'm tired. All right, fair enough. Still can't believe I had that FPS issue. I still cannot believe that. That was stupid. For those of you who don't know, in COD I was getting, like, I let it do the preferred settings based on my hardware, and basically ended up, it chose like for my settings to put everything on like ultra, so game looked amazing, but I was getting like 50 frames a second during gameplay, and I'm like, oh, that's a no-go. Because wow, I didn't realize that until like tonight. So I've been playing like a week and a half, 2 weeks, however long it's been out, at like a horrendous frame rate, and I went in and then optimized it tonight, and I'm up to like 120 at 1440, which is what I should have been at. So I was just like so disappointed in myself. I'm like, wow, that's embarrassing. So just made me laugh. Uh-oh. Why do you not want to? Why do you not fit? Because you go this way. Come on, Toby, you know better. There we go. Duh. I'm like sitting there like, why doesn't it fit? I must be tired. If I'm struggling with stabs, then I must be tired. Good God. Alright, I'm going to give 2 seconds. I'm going to just rinse my hands. They're gross, and I don't want to mark out the PCB. Just 2 seconds. The beauty of having a furnished basement is that I have my own bathroom and setup down here, so it makes it very easy to do the things I need to do like that and just grab what I need and come right back. So that's awesome. All right, let's grab some M2x4 screws and get those in. See one right here. Let's make sure we have the right. Nope, needs smaller. That's this one. Yep, perfect. Let's get our washers out. Hopefully the washer fits over this. Again, hopefully these screws aren't too long or too big. It might be, but we're about to find out. Hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully we can clear the case. Like, they are pretty far down, so I guess that's my only real concern. But like sorry, let's see if I can see. I don't know if that'll be an issue, but I guess we're gonna find out, huh? It shouldn't be, but we will find out. I need 4 more. Hopefully I have enough. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4. Okay, should still have plenty. All right, so that wind is howling from that tropical storm out there. I will say that, like, I can hear that. You know, it's funny, this board has the holes for the in-switch LEDs, the little, you know, single color that you can get. How many people still do that? I remember, on the first couple of my boards that I ever owned, I did. But then I remember, like, how much of a pain in the ass it is to basically double up on your soldering efforts. Like, I don't want to do that. You gotta make sure they're the right orientation, and then what? So you can get, you know, white or whatever color you choose lights coming out through. I don't know. I'm just curious, who still does that? Because like I said, I don't. I did on my my UT47, my first one. Consulted them upside down for underglow. That's funny, actually. You could. You definitely could. I remember on my UT47, the first one, which was the FR4 board, if you guys remember that, I did that, and that board was my first like from scratch board. So I had to do the diodes, do the switches, do the LEDs, and I remember that board like it was cheap. It's a cheap board. That was the whole point. It's like you get a board for like $50, $60, whatever it was, and then buy switches, and you had you could solder it and put it together, and then you have a working keyboard. And I remember like I put Zelios in it, or Xylence. I put Xylence in it. I was like, looking back, I was like, man, it's such an expensive switch for such a cheap ass board. But yeah, it's just funny to me like to remember that and go through that and be like, oh yeah, I remember those times. Through hole on a split plank like 4 years ago. Yeah, first and last time. Yeah, like I get the sense that people do it the one time and then they're just like, it's not worth the effort. Like, ugh. Okay. All right. Hopefully this fits in the case with no issues with clearance, but stabs. Oh no, the bar came out of this one. Oh crap. Oh, okay. Well, let's fix that real fast. I was like, wow, that stab doesn't look like it's sitting right. And it turns out I was right. Okay, let's, come on. Okay. Oh, we're struggling. There we go. Easy. And I didn't get a bunch of gunk on my fingers again. So we're good. All right, cool. Easy peasy. Let's put this back in place. Nice. That makes me happy. That was super easy. You thought about it on the Molly? Interesting. Okay. All right. Fingers are clean. We're good. Let's pull out this beautiful case that we haven't really messed with yet. Don't want to touch the brass. There we go. Been hiding this for however long now. Beautiful board. It really is pretty. And the weight is here. The screws came loose on the weight, which I thought was interesting. So I had to screw that in, screw the weight in earlier. Are these using the same M2 screws? I swear to God. Yep, they are. That's hilarious. Just the long version. So I have these, which is good to know now. Okay. Does anybody know if the TMO has Vial or Via by chance? I'll probably have to program it off stream. I'll make sure like things work, but I don't remember if it's Via compatible or not. Because QMK does not work on my PC very well. It's Via. Okay, well, I do have Via, so that's good news. Let's put the bump-ons on so we don't F up the case. And nice to see you, Gnarly. I don't think you've chatted very much outside of the through-hole LED comment. Glad you're here. Yeah, Vial is definitely the GOAT, especially now that I've built combos in and things like that. It's just so easy to use. Okay. All right, there we go. Yeah, this should fit with the screws. I'm not too concerned. It's a pretty case. It's very nice. Let's go ahead and unscrew. Where'd I put that? Uh-oh. Okay, where'd I put the Allen key? Oh, here it is. God, I feel like I lose that on my desk all the time. Yeah, I've been lurking. Been a rough day. Sorry to hear, man. Yeah. So Do I really need to? Yeah, I guess I need to unscrew this technically. I was thinking I could just put the switches in the plate through the case top. Just that crossed my mind a little bit, but all right, there we go. Fruit. TMO50v2. What's up, Fruit? Hope you're doing all right. Thanks for swinging by. And that one, this screw is uber tight. Okay. Goodness. I don't know what that was all about. All right, so I think I'll do the vault stream next week. I want to make sure, obviously, we have enough Mil-Max sockets, which we should, but I want to make sure we're covered and get that in order. But I think maybe Thursday of next week we will do the vault stream, 6 vaults, and Mil-Max all of them. That should be fun. And yeah, build that. A lot of them won't have key sets. We'll just do that. Some keyboard will be mailed out tomorrow or something. Nice. I am excited for your IC. I'm excited to figure out when we can build that and put that on stream. We'll cut into some of William's content and we'll do that board for sure. I'm super stoked for that. Big Dan actually wants to come over for that build too, so that should be a lot of fun. So we'll have people here. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, man, that board looks awesome. I can't wait. Cannot wait. All right, let's. I don't want to damage anything. Let's move Long Boy out of the way over here. Gently put that over there. All right. Set you. Oh, tell me these fit around the stabs. Are you kidding? Who designed this plate? Come on now. Maybe Fruit was right. TMO50v2. The stabs don't even fit. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. There we go. Jesus. Like, look at that. That's held on by the stabs. Like, come on now. TMO50v2 round 1 had the same problem. Oh my god. So this is a known issue that no one bothered to correct. That's good to know. All right, that's in. Okay. That sucks. There we go. Literally pasted R2. Well, you mean the second run of V2? Right? Because there's round 2 and V2. I think that's what you're trying to say, I believe. Okay. Just seems so, I don't know. Like, make the proper cuts, damn it. And then it creates this issue across the board. Look at that. That's insane. Oh, man. Try not to get too many fingerprints all over this brass because it's nice and I don't want to screw that up. We're going the 2.75, 2.25 layout, so cut the plate. Yeah, let me just get my tools to cut brass. It's not fucking acrylic or palm or like, I'm surprised these stabs still work. I mean, I guess because there's plenty of clearance because they're Durox, but just come on now. If it's this, it needs to be TMO50v2. TMO50. Ah. There we go. Trying to remember the layout here. Okay, so it's 2.25, 2.75, 1.5, and then 1U, which, if that's 1.5, that means 1U goes over here to the far right. Because the other switch hole is for 1.25. There we go. Duroc stabs technically outsized past spec, but common enough that they should be accounted for. Agreed. If I had known, I would have put this one up here. I can still switch it out later. And good thing we hot swapped this board, huh? But yeah, I think this is the issue one, so I can always swap them. But yes, like so many people use Durocs anyway. Like, just fix it. Come on now. Do better. Do better. There we go. Can see where the plate's, either the plate or the PCB is bending. One of them. It's probably the plate, honestly. Yeah, looks like it's the plate. Yeah, gnarly, I just ordered a bunch of TX stabs, so they should be here by next week, which is great. Per Fruit's request for the board he's sending, he said use TX stabs, so that's what I'm doing. The clip-in ones too. But yeah, I've heard obviously good things about the stabs. Come on. There we go. Still gotta look and see what key set we're gonna put on here. I have no idea. Come on. Oh, that switch pin is being finicky. There we go. I think Cam was saying he almost has vial firmware ready to go for the Pearl. Cam, when you do, let me know. I will help you test it. I want to kind of see if I can help you out and put that on my white one. Lucky number 7. Okay. Come on. There we go. Almost done. Much preferred to cherry stabs, which are my go-to problem solvers. So yeah, like I said, I think cherry stabs, unfortunately, have just been kind of like lost in the shuffle, but they're still very good and they still sound really good. And I remember that Pegasus build I did with them, and I was like, wow, I forgot how good these sound. Almost there, guys. I usually don't get past 2 hours on my stream, so it's a big deal. Glad you guys are still here hanging out with me. Thank you very much. It means a lot. Whoop, that one clicked in. I hope that. Yep, I see both pins in there. That's good to know. Cam says, for sure the biggest issue, I can't seem to get the vial UI RGB to work. Huh. You can do solid color, though. Okay, that's cool. Oh, and layer indicator LEDs don't work either. That's what I've been trying to figure out. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know. Because those, I do use those. Like, I do like that. And obviously RGB cycling through. Ray says, mo keys, mo problems. Ain't that the truth? This one may not be. Let's use a different one. That one still had some leftover solder from the when I pulled. Okay. Alright. Man, my fingers are just like... I don't know what's going on with my fingers. Like, they've been blistering so easily lately, and I just don't know if it's the humidity or what, but... Or maybe I'm just falling apart, but, like, everything has been blistering lately, and it's insane. I don't know if I need to, like, lotion my hands or dry them out or what. Maybe I'm just going through it right now. Like, I noticed in basketball, my fingers were all sorts of blistery, so... This definitely bows a little bit. I can see it, but... Whatever, we got everything in. F you, Andrew. I am moisturizing. I just don't know what's going on with my hands. But, appreciate your concern, asshole. Alright. Put this into place. There's the... Use Utterly Smooth. It's amazing on my skin. Listen, I'm locked into a life of skincare. I mean, you are Ghost White, so I understand. Moisturizing with dielectric grease doesn't count. Thanks. Good to know. That's why I love you guys, right? That's why you're on my stream. That's not it? It's just because you're ashy? I can't remember, Andrew. Oh, the art. That's right. That's right. All your tattoos. Okay. Three more of these screws, and then the case screws, and then we will be good to go. And finally, right here. All right. And now when William wants, he can literally just change out the switches whenever he feels, which is awesome. So, looks pretty good. Hopefully it sounds okay. These are unlubed banana splits, so hopefully it sounds alright. If it doesn't, just be aware that they're just unlubed. Like, more than anything, that's the reason, so. Got your nice brass weight on the back there. Like I said, I always want to build one of these, so getting that chance is kind of nice. There we go. Get you locked into place, like so. Alright. Oops, careful. It is pretty, William. I think you did good getting this board. Okay. Perfect. Don't banana splits come pre-lubed at least? Better than bone dry? I think they are slightly lubed. They might be. I know those palm switches, the ice mint I picked up, those are pre-lubed, but they're pretty inconsistent, so I'm going to clean them and lube them myself for probably going the Machida. As much as I want the purple flames to go in there, I think well, I don't know. We'll see. It is a black board, so we'll see. Maybe just some contrast would be good, but the purple flames might be awesome in there too. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. Put this over here. All right, let's pull out some keycaps. All right, I can do candy bar purple on white. I can do GMK phosphorus. Do GMK laser. I do white on black hiragana, I think. I could do GMK Serenity might look good on here. The purple. Macho's kind of wasted on TMO with brass plate, not gonna lie. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you're right, Fruit. The black on black, for sure. Maybe we go Serenity, just because the gray and the purple, like, as much as I want to be, like, gray and gray, this is not an exact match. Let's do Serenity. I think Serenity will look amazing. Seen too much Serenity lately? Don't care. I don't care. I have not seen too much. Although, actually, I don't think I have space bars, so maybe we can't. I don't remember if we have the right. We might. Is there a 2.25 in here? Yeah, there is. Somewhere here in the bottom. Yeah, we're doing Serenity. I think Serenity will look awesome on here. Sorry. And I know that there's compatibility with some of the base kit. That sounds good. Alright. Yeah, the Audacity. Hey, look, man. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So. You know, if they are factory lubed, they sound really good. I'm just going to say that. Alright, cool. So, knowing that there's no other stabilized keys, let's move these over here. One U control, maybe? Can make sure we've got the right Q W. Okay, it's just because that. There we go. The switch is in there now. That one's sitting up just a hair higher, but can't tell if it's the switch or the keycap. Whatever. Some of the mod keys are nice. I will say that. Is this I can't. Yeah, I was right. So I need a 1U control. No arrows. Yeah, Serenity's gonna look good on here. See, I could have done step caps, but we good. Use a novelty for escape. So QWERTYUIOP. Oh gosh, there's 3 1Us over here. Interesting. Yeah, we'll figure that out in a second. Huh, okay, interesting. I didn't even think about that. That was too small. Don't need a shift. Well, that's 1.75 shift. I do need 1.25. Hopefully that's in here somewhere. 1.5, and then a 1U somewhere. Ah. Backspace plus word backspace plus delete. Brackets and backspace. Yeah, brackets is always has always been like the answer, right? So technically that goes there. ZXCVBNM, and then 1, 2. Oh, there's the 1.25 tab, because obviously Serenity's got some minivan support, so. Right? Minivan support? Yeah. Alright, F it. Only dropped 2 of them. Not bad. I know I'm tired. Because I can feel it, and I'm making mistakes. And I usually don't make a ton of mistakes, so yeah. SDF. Enter. It's just, nope, that's a 1.5. Oh, shoot. Does this have 1.75 enter? I don't think it does it? I'll probably have to use the stupid control. There we go. I was looking for that one. There's my 1.25 shift. I think it goes here. Yep. It does. We can put a function right there, which is cool. What am I looking for? There's the minivan backspace. Oh yeah, 2 B's, because Alice layout, right? Is there a function key? Did I miss out on that? Yeah, this is gonna look so good when it's done. I know it's washed out because of the lighting. I'm sorry. There we go. Like, it's a little washed out, but I just haven't messed with the lighting a lot lately. More so because every time I unplug the lights and then plug them back in, it resets to the whatever, like, the stock setting is. So, which is super bright, and I just stopped messing with it. And I realized that's made things, like, a lot easier, but at the same time, then, you know, creates the issue where things are washed out, super bright, etc. Let's make sure I got those final letters. There's O. Where's I? Hello, Mr. I, where are you? Am I dumb? Oh, here it is. B. Gotta figure out what we're putting on the macro column. Maybe some artisans? What do you guys think? How is there no, like, 1U function? Or I'll just do menu key, it's fine. And then over here we'll do... I thought there was a better one. Alright, Rage. Good luck, thank you. Yeah, I didn't get the honeycomb. I bought this set off of Big Dan. DXC, whatever you want to call him. So no honeycomb. Sure, that works, I guess. And then we just need the other bracket, wherever that piece went. There you are. Sure. Something to go here. Yeah, this works. Cool. All right. Let me see if we put some artisans on here. I probably missed the function somewhere, Tears, like honestly. All right, and let's get the artisan tray. I actually don't know that I have anything that goes with Serenity, but I guess that's not the point. It doesn't matter, right? I've got some purple over there, 2 purple ones, but artisan tray's full, by the way, and this one will be swapped out. Got another rubber hose Lucette and a rubber hose BBW coming, which is exciting. So super excited for that. I won these Brocaps Rivet and Stump, the Moo versions recently, which is cool. I really like these. Come on, focus. There we go. Sorry. There we go. Got gold teeth, blue eyes, which is neat. Same with the Rivet. And then picked up the Yin Yang and Anarchy Salvadors along with the Bandit, and then the Dementor Beluga. Picked up the sweet gaming set as well. So yeah, the rubber hose keyboard, yeah, it looks pretty sick for sure. And then this gamer set right here. So this is really cool. These showed up yesterday. This is from Johan at Alpha Keycaps, which, by the way, these 5 sets are Alpha Keycaps. These are all old. They're all from 2017. And I've those of you who have like hung around my stream, you know I've collected these. And then like I sold the Submariner, the Blue Cola, the yogurt. Was it the one that looks like Yakult, like the probiotic set? Probiotic, that's the name. Probiotic, Blue Cola, the I sold like 4 other sets. So I used to have a bunch. At one point I had 8, including like the Golden Choco. And as a thank you for trying to collect the sets, Johan is bringing back the boosted gamer set and made this one in whatever color I wanted. So he made it in terminal green because I'm matching with these, and they're going to go on the garbage truck. So that was super nice of him. Big shout out to Johan from Alpha Keycaps. What a G. Doing that for me at no cost, which was amazing. So I really like that guy. He's awesome. And you guys should support him. So just saying. Anyway, for what can go on here, like I said, I know that the Lurvana matches. And this one does too. Like I said, I know I don't have a lot of purple, so that kind of presents an issue. I do want to put the Lucette on there, maybe? No. Should definitely put the Alex's key on here, about in the bottom R4, because that fits. And let's do the No Face Salvador. Oh yeah, I really haven't mounted this yet, so there we go. Cool. All right. Look at that. That is sick. I really did want one of these. I don't know if I do now still, but nice board for sure. We made it through the mill maxing. You guys want to hear how it sounds? Let's do that. It's monkey type. I still go to monkey type. That's still my jam. So, all right. Bring this down. Yeah, with the banana splits, This sounds great. I'm like pleasantly surprised how good that sounds. William, you're gonna love this thing, man. This sounds fantastic. I mean, like, for me personally, the layout sucks. Like, it's too wide. Using big mods over here sucks. But, they really managed to make a nice sounding board. Like, that sounds fantastic. Good stuff. All right, all right. I'm impressed. Good stuff. Okay. We made it, stream. We made it. We got to the end. We managed to get all of this built and wrangled. Another successful build for William. William, after I do the vault stream next week, I think instead of waiting to send you everything back, I'm just gonna send you the vaults, this, and the JD45, so you have some stuff to start typing on, and then move on to the other builds. Like, we still have V40, we've got the liminals, we got the gold bats, we got the JD40. So yeah, like, from a build perspective, I want you to be able to start enjoying your stuff, so I will start sending that stuff back to you. But let's do the vaults next week. Let's aim for Thursday, so everybody's just aware. Thursday, we'll do vaults, 6 of them. I may start that stream early. I may start that stream at, like, 7 Eastern. We'll see what happens. Do I have dielectric grease on me still? Oh my god. I'm so over this stuff. But we'll do that. We will start the stream 7 p.m. probably. We'll talk all about the vaults. I'll probably PM gnarly, 7 p.m. I'll probably put the Milmax sockets on the switches beforehand so that I can just start putting them in and soldering. And we'll go from there. But yeah, this is nice, man. Like, I wouldn't have any complaints, that's for sure. This sounds great. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I'll keep the banana splits in here and just, yeah, take all the caps off and put it back in the case, and you're good to go. So, I had a good time tonight. A little bit longer than normal, but glad to do it. This is a really cool board. I don't know. I think I may still try and find one, maybe in polycarbonate, to see how it is. I'm not super sold on it, again, just from a layout perspective, but if I can get, like, vial onto it, and then I can start comboing, then it doesn't matter how big and long the layout is, right? Like, that doesn't matter at all. But super happy. Good looking board. Thank you guys for joining tonight. I appreciate it. It'll be next week. So next week, Thursday, we're going to do the vault stream. I'm going to start prepping for that. We'll get everybody, like, let everybody know if I'll post in Kane's server and his channel in the 40 server. And we'll post everywhere else. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for staying up, Wolf. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. Very nice of you. It's got to be almost 6 a.m. over there. So thank you so much. I genuinely appreciate it. Tears, thank you. I'm glad that you could have a good time. I'm glad the stream wasn't too scuffed, only slightly scuffed, which is good. And like I said, I will 5:30. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I will definitely see you guys on Thursday. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the subs and the follows. You guys rock, and look forward to continuing to do this. Have a good night, everybody. See ya.